Morning folks, John with A&J Outdoors, and today we're doing another boat maintenance video. Okay, this is one of the ones that you really can do yourself and save yourself a little bit of money. Of course, if your motor's under warranty and you want to take it to the shop to keep those records up and all that, understandable. I bought this boat 10 years ago. The Mercury warranty was 5 years, so this Mercury is not under warranty anymore. So wherever I can, I'm going to save myself some money. And like I said, this is one of those videos that most people can do themselves. I'm changing the plugs, right, the spark plugs. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being super simple and 10 being difficult, I would put this one at about a 3.5, only because you do need some tools that you might not have. So let's look at what we have, or what we need tool wise to do this. All right, so you're gonna need socket wrench, right? Whatever size you use, I don't care. And you're gonna need a spark plug socket. Do not just go get your deep well socket that'll fit the spark plug and use that. There's a rubber bushing inside here because that spark plug has that one end that it's going over, that if you don't have this, you have a greater chance of breaking that spark plug, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so go and spend the money. This one for my boat, and there's different sizes of these, so you gotta make sure what size you need, but for my boat it's a 5/8, right? So with that, of course, like I said, you need the wrench. You might need an extension depending on how your plugs are set up on your boat, and you might even need a little swivel adapter. These are all maybes, again, depending on how yours is set up. Okay. Now, you're also going to need spark plugs. This is a 115 Optimax Mercury, right? It's a 3-cylinder motor, so that means it's got 3 spark plugs. And how did I figure out what size spark plug I needed? Well, the owner's manual, right? Just jump in the owner's manual. You'll be able to find the specifications for the motor, and within those specifications will be the size spark plug you need and the gap. Okay, the gap's very important. That's how I'll show you on an actual spark plug, but that's the spread, right? And that's a tool similar to this. You'll find round ones that have just these on it, right? Or you'll find ones that have just the blades, like that, okay? And those are used to measure that gap, and then this little tool on top is used to set it. You don't need this one. Like I said, there's ones that are little round discs that have all these on it, and there's ones that maybe just have the blades like that. Whatever you use, again, any auto parts store has this. Walmart has this, okay? Or one of these. See what I'm saying? This tool is used to grab the end of it and bend it, whichever way you need to bend it. Now again, I'll show you in detail how that works. So there's your specialty tools, really. That for the gap, and that guy for the spark plug, okay? So, John, I ain't got a manual for my motor. I bought the boat used, and the guy didn't have a manual, and so I don't know what size spark plug. And most, if not all, engine manufacturers' websites will have the manuals available online, right? Just go on computer, tablet, phone, however you get online, right? Like you're watching this right now. Go on there, search your motor manufacturer. For me, it's Mercury Marine, right? And then it might ask you for the serial number on your motor, right, to narrow it down for you. My manual even shows you where the serial number is for this motor, okay? So that's the information you need. You need your manual. If you don't have a physical manual to put in your hands, go online to the manufacturer. You can find the manual there, and then you can look up the size spark plug you need and what the gap needs to be, right? Because that's the information you need to do this. All right, so let's take a look at what we're working with real quick. All right, so we're looking for the spark plugs. 1, I already took the cover off of that one. 2, number 3 is down here low. Number 3 is the reason I got that swivel piece, just in case I need it. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull these plugs and see what it's all about. Another good tip, okay, there's many ways to do this, figure out which one's which when you go put the plug wires back on. But something I learned from working on cars and Jeeps and everything else is just do one at a time. I pulled the cover off that one. I'm going to replace that and then put the cover back on it, because if I pull all 3 covers off right now, I could mix them up, right? Likelihood of that on this type of motor is low, because top one goes to the top, middle one goes to the middle, bottom one goes to the bottom, right? But it can happen, and you don't want to do that. So just to keep it simple, right, go ahead and do one at a time. So that's what we're going to do. I pulled the cover off the middle one, so we're going to take the middle one off first. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Come out, there you. Right, and that's why we're replacing it. A little bit dirty. All right, so the gap on mine is 0.03 inch, right, or 762 millimeter, right? 0.03. So all you do is take your spark plug, put that sucker in there, and so it's a little tight. I'm going to loosen it just a little bit, but you really want it to be kind of tight. You don't want a gap in there. You don't want to be able to put that in there and then move it up and down between these two spaces. So you can see, I hope that's focusing for you. So you see what I'm doing there, right? There's a gap between those two pieces. This top piece is the piece that you use the tool to bend it down or up, right, to get your gap. So this little tool just hooks on the side of it. You just bend it a little bit. Just doesn't take much at all. It's not rocket science, you know. If you're off a hair, the motor's not going to suddenly blow up and destroy itself, right? All right, so that one's good. We're going to go ahead and put the new one in. Just be careful not to pick up any dirt on it as you're putting it in there, but this motor is relatively clean, so it's not an issue. Tighten it down. Come on, baby. There we go. Technically, you should use a torque wrench. I got a good feel for this. It's 20 foot-pounds for mine. That'll be in your manual, specify. There we go. Put that one back on. All right, you can even look in there, make sure it's clean. If you've got any kind of corrosion or anything going on you're afraid of, you can put a little bit of that dielectric grease on the tip of that. Some recommend it. My manual does not recommend it. Okay, moving on to the next one. Now we'll probably fast forward through this stuff. This is going to be the most difficult one. So it's kind of unusual, but I found a little bit of corrosion in this end of this plug. So I'm going to, or the plug wire, I've cleaned it out, right? A little screwdriver, a little rag, just wiped it out. There's nothing stuck in there permanent, just a little bit of that greenish blue you see when you start seeing a little bit of corrosion start on batteries ends and stuff. So I cleaned it out, and I'm going to go back and put a little didactic grease on the end of the spark plug, and I'll probably pull these two and put a little bit on them too, just to be on the safe side. Don't need to overdo it with the grease, just a light coating is all you need on there. There you have it, folks. That's how easy it is. 3 spark plugs out, 3 spark plugs in. You need a spark plug socket made for your spark plug size. You need a gapping tool to gap it. And then after that, there's really not much more you got to do. Pull them out, put new ones in, make sure they're clean. And it is a good idea to put that didactic grease on there. You saw I started off not doing it, but then once I saw a little bit of corrosion on inside one end, I was like, well, let's go back and put it on all of them. My boat does run offshore, or not offshore, I'm sorry, but in saltwater, inshore. So, you know, whenever you're playing in the salt, you got a little greater risk of corrosion. So that's one of those things you just got to be aware of. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. Do me a favor, if you're still here, that means you liked it. Hit the subscribe button. Check out, there'll be some videos popping up over my shoulder somewhere, more maintenance related stuff if you want to check that out. and hit that subscribe button. Like I said, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. There's a little notification bell down there. You can click that. That'll let you know next time I upload a video. It does help the channel out as we're growing to have those things done, so I really do appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Peace out.